you ready?
I know she ready.
Kiki, are you ready?
Stay
Bayou Diva, let them know that you're ready.
It's Thursday night, they at it again. You got it locked into the ladies then. This Lady K, Kiki too, plus the Bayou Diva, you know how they do. From breaking news to favorite foods. She was popping in the city, hot topics too. Advice for your issues if you need to grab a tissue. Just wait till a break, they may say something that'll fit you. Amazing guests live on set. You can laugh to your heart's content. They appreciate the love cause it's truly a blessing. My name's Saga Boss and I approve this message. Ain't no room for hating, enjoy the entertainment. You are locked in to the ladies' den. So there's no confusion, they love what they're doing. You are locked in to the ladies' den.
The Ladies Den, Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell them Saga sent you.
What's happening? What's up?
What it
What's
do?
up? What's up? What's up, Kiki?
What's up? What's up?
What's going
How
on?
you doing? You and your man, your man, your man.
Mm,
How y'all
mm.
We alright.
doing? Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So what's going on, ladies? How was y'all
Y'all
day?
got banners and I don't.
Huh?
Why y'all got banners under y'all name and I don't?
Cause you didn't put one under
You
your
have to put it in where your name is. There's a thing underneath.
In the
Say
beginning,
discussion or
before
something.
you,
Yeah.
before you enter. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to put it in, chickadee.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
I know. I had to learn too. You know, I don't do this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
How's everybody? Everybody's.
Pretty good.
Y'all got y'all leopard. Let me go find me some leopard. Hold on.
Oh, listen. It wasn't even planned.
At
I
all.
mean, I know
I
that.
didn't notice it until you said something.
Hey, hold on. Let me go find my prince. It ain't gonna be hard now. I'll come back around.
Oh wow.
Come back here, kitty.
Cannot. I
So
cannot.
I'm gonna do the introduction, but I'm letting you ladies take over the show tonight, okay? I'm gonna sit back and I'm just gonna listen.
You can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can.
You
So, anyway, thank you guys for joining us in the den, as always, every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. As you know, every week we feature a different beverage, wine, water, alcohol, liquor, tea, coffee, you know, you name it, whatever. So tonight, I ain't drinking. So I'm having a talk with me and my boy Arnold here.
Hey.
So that's what I'm drinking on tonight. A little Arnold Palmer iced tea.
What's up, Arnold? What's up?
And no, I ain't put no vodka in it. I just some iced tea. Oh, Arnold. Arnold, well, you ain't here no more, but Arizona. We need sponsor, Arizona. Arizona. If y'all listening, I'm gonna have to tag y'all, follow y'all page and tag y'all. We need some tea. We need some lemonade, Arizona. Thank you. All right, ladies, what y'all drinking?
I ain't drinking on nothing.
Nothing?
Not at the moment. Mm-mm.
You ain't got nothing? Nothing?
Not in front of me, no. Not in the presence right now, no.
All right, Nisa K, what you drinking on, boo?
Some lovely water.
You know what?
No, I mixed up some Crystal Light powder mix in there with my water.
You like that stuff. That must really be good, huh?
It is. And I actually because I'd been buying just like the little box of, I think it's like 10 in each box.
Mhm.
This time I went and got the 40 box. I was like, what is the point of just me buying over and over, quick. So yeah, I got a nice big box. So we need sponsorship from Crystal Light too.
Yeah. So what we need to do is follow them. Go follow them. So when we go on air, they'll see our podcast, and we can get some sponsors. But we are looking for sponsors, for liquor sponsors, any type of beverage sponsors. So I don't have to keep saying liquor, alcohol, tea. Any type of beverage. We are looking for sponsors. And what we do is we taste your lovely beverage and we give our remarks, our replies, what we like, whatever y'all want to call it. We give all of that. And we let people know where to go and buy it, where to purchase it, and how to mix it, how to use it, how to drink it, all that good stuff.
Yes.
We do all of that. So if you have a beverage that you would like for us to talk about, to do on our show, hit us up on an email at theladiesden23@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on our Facebook page or our Facebook Messenger, The Ladies Den. All right. And tonight, y'all, we're going to be talking about Down syndrome and pregnancy loss.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting back. I'm going to let my ladies run the show tonight. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Is.
She say is.
Is you ready?
Is it?
Whole squad ready.
Okay. So I don't know. I feel a little serious today. I have not really had any experience with either one. A little bit, I guess, on the Down syndrome side. I do have a cousin that has Down syndrome. And then of course you notice people that have Down syndrome. And so I'm going to start with that one. And I'm using this information from the Special Olympics website, which I did shout them out a little earlier on our page, because they deal with pretty much a lot of different disabilities. But they had this information segment or area on their website, just giving the definition of what Down syndrome is. And basically it's when an individual is born with an extra copy of a certain chromosome.
Yeah.
And so you can immediately look at them and tell that that's the issue because of their physical features. Other than that, like some might have some learning disabilities, just a little bit. But other than that, like they're regular, normal people. They actually have reality shows out right now where they follow. It's a couple, and they both have Down syndrome.
Really?
But they got married. They had to go through like a certain process to be able to do like independent living where they learn their life skills and things of that nature. But they got married, they had a baby, it's the only thing is that they just had this they have this extra chromosome. And so it affects them in different ways. But other than that, they're just.
So did the child have Down syndrome?
The child, yeah. The child was born with, yeah.
So was it more severe than theirs? Because of course, almost kind of like when you're doing with sickle cell. One have the trait, the other one has the disease. The child could more than likely have the disease. So is it to a certain degree, or is just pretty much they Down syndrome, they just have Down syndrome?
They just
like
have
the level, you know, like saying the level of the severity of it.
Yeah, I know, I get what you're saying, but no, it's just they have it. I mean, it's certain, like right here. I'm trying to scroll to it without going too far, but like these are the different I can't even talk. Different symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, you might see some that have, like this right here says decreased or poor muscle tone. Some might have that particular issue more than others. Like it just depends on that particular individual.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to how do I want to word this? It just happens. Like there's no way it could be worse. It could be worse or it could be less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But some of the physical symptoms, decreased or poor muscle tone, look at them and they have a shorter neck, and then they have the excess skin in the back of the neck. You'll see in all the individuals that are born with Down syndrome, they have that flat face.
Yeah.
You can see their eyes, and then their heads are sometimes smaller. And see, I didn't know about this part about the single crease across the palm of the hand. I never really noticed that. And then it's saying deep groove between the first and second toes.
And again, like I said, we really pretty much just basically look at the physical and say, you know, as soon as unless we know somebody that knows somebody, you know what I'm saying, or is in close proximity, we don't even, you know, not to even think about that. It's just, oh, you look at this one and say, oh, you know, they have Down syndrome. And they all look alike, regardless of race, creed, they all look the same.
Yeah.
And it's a copy of one particular chromosome, which is chromosome 21.
Chromosome 21, yeah. And what does that chromosome do, Bayou Diva?
What do you mean, baby?
No, I mean, like, I know, isn't it like each chromosome would affect the body in a certain kind of way? So, like, why does chromosome 21 give that?
Now, I don't know, but it means that their cells contain 47 chromosomes instead of 46 with that extra copy of, but now I'm not really sure. Now, I don't know about the chromosomes breaking down to the number.
Oh, okay.
But let's see.
And I didn't see anything. I was teasing with you a little bit, but you never know, because sometimes you be breaking out with the A to the Z with stuff. It's like, okay.
It doesn't really. It doesn't really say what it actually does. That number. But it does say it disrupts development pathways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's it. It doesn't really say
specifically
what 21 is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's just the number.
Okay.
Because everybody has 46 chromosomes in their body.
Right.
And if they have Down syndrome, then they have that extra copy of particular 21. But it doesn't say. They never broke down chromosomes.
Who's that watching? Hey, Mika. How you doing? And just looking a little bit more on the website, it speaks about their intellectual and developmental symptoms. It does say that they may have problems with thinking and learning, which is why when specifically with the couple I was talking about, and I'm going to find them on here and see if I can pull them up, but they fell in love. And because of the fact that, a lot of times people worry about the fact that They might not be able to think things all the way through like they should. They had a lot of pushback from both sides, from both families. Like, you know, what do you mean you in love? What do you mean you want to be with this person? It's like,
How
are
do
you
you know?
sure you can
Right.
really, you know, do you understand?
Comprehend, yeah. Can you comprehend
Yeah.
what's going on?
And they were like, yeah. And like I said, they got together, had a baby, independent living, just everything. But
we would know who has the final say so with all of that, you know.
and we do.
So
And we do.
So here's something that I did find to break down the 21 chromosomes. So it is responsible for various developmental processing like cognitive function, facial features, muscle tone, which are affected in the Down syndrome. So your 21 is your facial features. That's how you look like you look, how I look like I look.
Mm-hmm.
Your cognitive function, your thinking, your brain, all of that stuff. That's why I'm crazy. Y'all not. Well, y'all partially crazy. So and your muscle tone, the muscle tone in your body. I mean, not in your body, in your face, in your facial features. And that's why people with Down syndrome have that distinctive look. No matter what race you are, no matter what skin tone you are, they all look the same. It's just either a darker version, a lighter version, an Asian version, a Mexican version, whatever. But that's what the actual 21 is. The chromosome 21 is.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess because that has doubled or it has copied itself or whatever the case may be, that's where the breakdown comes in there because it's actually giving off more than what the body should really have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it like distorts your features.
Yeah.
So you don't even end up looking like your family per se. You just, everybody has that one look.
Yeah.
With the flatness.
But you know, it's kind of weird though, because it makes you wonder why. Because even though it changes that, because it doubles, but why do they look the same? See, now y'all gonna make me go research.
Absolutely.
Really research.
Go right ahead. Go right
because
ahead.
the chromosomes are already different. Your chromosome is different from mine.
Right.
Kiki's is different from ours. So why, if it doubles, why isn't her facial feature different from mine, even though it's Down syndrome? Because everybody has a 21 chromosome, but the 21 chromosome is for what I just said: facial features, cognitive, muscle tone. But the chromosomes are already different. So why does it turn out that they all look the same?
Maybe because that one is the same.
But it can't be the same because you already have a different facial feature.
But that 21 is distinct.
It is. And this happens during pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that's probably okay. That's a good thing. See, I wasn't thinking on that level, but because it happens during the pregnancy, during the conception, so that chromosome is already doubling up. So that could possibly be a reason why they look the same.
And that's why they have when you're pregnant, when you're going through, you know, you're different at certain stages, they test you for that. You know, they actually at a certain,
but that's only at a request though. They don't normally test you for Down syndrome unless you go to maternal fetal.
No,
right?
they do offer that testing. Now it's up because they offered it at our office. You have parents that denied it, so of course they didn't get tested. But
because
it's offered because in a certain stage there, it's at some point at this stage, I can't think of which, what month is or what trimester, but certain tests are
It's
supposed to
the
be
second
ran.
trimester.
And
Okay.
certain tests are supposed to be ran in certain different trimesters.
Yes.
And you had those, you had parents that said no, or they denied it, or they didn't want to have it done. And and
Well, because and I understand that reasoning,
why?
because there's a test that needs to be done where a
Mhm.
needle is stuck into their belly to test for these chromosomal defects, but it could result in the death of the child, of the embryo.
Oh, man.
So a lot of women opt out to get that. And I know that too, not only working in OBGYN, but I also worked in a maternal fetal office. And that's maternal fetal is a separate office from OBGYN, and
It
it's for
is.
women that are high risk pregnancies.
It is. I've dealt with all of
So
it. So yeah.
yeah, so they opt
Oh,
out, even in maternal fetal, they high risk and they
Yeah.
will still opt out when then doctors let them know that it's a chance that you could lose your baby by us sticking this needle in your belly to get some blood so that we can test your baby for chromosomal defects. So that's why they deny it, because I denied it. No, you're not sticking no needle in my belly. It's a possibility that my child could die. Now the chances of that, I think, oh my God, this was maybe 12 years ago when I worked in maternal fetal, if not a little more. So the chances then was like 70, 30, like it's a 30% chance. No telling what it is now. But
right.
I'm like, and my son, my first baby, he 32. No, you're not. No. If whatever defect he got when he come out, I'm gonna deal with it. But no, you're not about to stick this needle in my belly. No,
Jesus.
no, no,
Jesus.
no, 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 no. It
Jesus.
don't go through the cooter. It don't do none of that. They stick a needle in your belly through that sac to get all the blood, fluid, whatever they need to run this test. And I forgot the name of this damn test. Let me look it up. But I forgot the name of the test because I hadn't been in maternal fetal in a long time. But that's the reason why a lot of women opt out to having that test done, because they're afraid. And the chances of them losing a baby is slim to none. But
But
just the
still,
chance that you telling me that I could lose my baby,
But yeah,
I'm not
all of
doing it.
them, but there's different, I pulled it up, but there's different in different stages in of the different trimesters. So all of them are not based upon them sticking, needles and sticking stuff in your, belly. You can do blood tests. It can be done through blood tests. You can do it through the ultrasound. So we're different, like first trimester, second trimester. But yeah, it's a lot, because you have a lot of, we've had parents that didn't want any of the tests done. They just want to go. Half of them didn't even come to their doctor's appointment for what?
Yeah.
I mean, for
like
what?
they were
For what?
supposed to.
It's like, what do you mean for what? You have a whole human being growing inside of you, and there could be a possibility that something could be wrong. That's the purpose of having prenatal care.
Exactly.
Amniocentesis, that's it.
Yeah,
I
amniocentesis.
couldn't
Oh,
remember.
Amniocentesis.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I've heard.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
just to me, that is just that's selfish, and it's just crazy for you to have a whole human being growing inside of you, and you don't want to take find out what's going on, if the baby is breathing, if the baby has eyes, ears, because there are different stages. But some parents,
Yeah.
some of those girls was like, no, I'm not doing that, or I'm not taking that test, or I'm not doing it. And you looking like,
But on the flip side though, you have to understand that a lot of these women are first time moms. A lot of them are young. And one thing when I worked in OBGYN that I found a lot with everybody coming in there, every woman, unless she was a doctor or a nurse that was pregnant, every woman lives on the internet when they are pregnant. Or they go by, because my sister, this happened to her while
Yeah.
she was pregnant. And my auntie, girl, so no, I'm not doing that. So they listen to other people and what they've been through. And what I used to tell my patients is stay off the internet.
Yeah.
If you cannot fact check what you found on the internet, and that main one was what was it? Oh, I can't think of it right now, but it's one that was on the internet that is responses are from actual doctors, and I can't think of the name of it. But these women will look up this, like one lady, she came about the coffee and the wine, and it, girl, I'm gonna need you to stay off the internet, okay? And then every pregnancy is different. Even with mine, every pregnancy is different. It is
Yeah,
different.
I mean, I agree with the Dr. Google, but again, it's still
WebMD.
yeah,
WebMD, that's it.
yeah,
That's it. No,
yeah.
WebMD is the one that there's actual doctors responding. But those other ones, all them other, there's actual doctors on WebMD now. All the responses are not from doctors, but most of the responses are from actual doctors on WebMD. But them
Okay.
other little things, don't. Oh my God, Kiki, I know you've been in OBGYN just as long as me. They come in there with all kind of crazy stuff
But
that
again,
they
like I
done just
said,
read.
Dr. Google is
Yeah,
stuff
that.
that people have like I said, such and such said this and said this and said that, and my thing is, yeah, they may, some of them are young, and I think a lot of them too are just still in that phase of, wait a minute, I was on the tip of my tongue. That phase of, you still don't understand. I mean, they still can't believe it. So, denial. You
Yeah,
gotta, they're in denial. They're really in denial. And it's like, baby, it's a human being growing inside of you. There are certain
Right.
tests that need to be done throughout your pregnancy. Well, you come for your first 4 weeks, you don't come back until you 6 months. And it's like, baby, you ain't been, and they dismiss them when they don't follow the rules, when they don't follow proper protocol when it comes to those pregnancies, they get dismissed because you have to follow protocol when you're pregnant. You have to come to your appointments, you have to do all of that. And some of them, they're just like, well, I'm not coming, or I don't feel like it, or I'm tired. Well, I mean, that's not the baby's fault. And then when the baby is born, hence this extra chromosome that could have been detected earlier in the pregnancy. Not saying that it was going to change anything, but it could
yeah. I
have
was gonna say it's not gonna change anything,
they could have detected
But
it
they
to
coulda known.
inform you and let you know, versus you getting and you delivering this baby. You like, why is my baby looking like this, or what is wrong with my baby? When
Right.
well,
they this could have been earlier on.
for
Coulda been.
anybody that's just joining us right now, October is Awareness Month. There's so many awareness things going on. We talked about spina bifida, we talked about domestic violence. Tonight we're talking about Down syndrome and pregnancy loss. So we're discussing Down syndrome and the effects of the chromosomes, like chromosome 21, which I just found out, didn't know. Well, I knew but didn't know the distinctness of 21 is that it's your facial features, it's your cognitive, and it's your muscle tone for your face. And this is how we all look different. But when a child has Down syndrome, that chromosome 21 is doubled. And then their facial features, or I'm gonna use disfigured, but not really
That's
disfigured.
distinct. They're
It's
distinct.
distinct.
Yeah.
And their cognitive is a little slower than normal. And so as an average person, we have 46 chromosomes in our body. So a Down syndrome person will have 47 as opposed to the normal 46. So, you know, and we were just discussing. I saw a couple of people jumped on. That's why I explained what we were talking about. And we were just discussing that the Down syndrome kind of ties into the pregnancy loss as well. And we were speaking of the women who really don't like to take the chromosome test during their stages of pregnancy because some of them are detrimental to the fetus, and some are not. But when you have new moms, young moms, they're already afraid, they're already scared, so they don't want to know if anything is wrong. Because for me personally, having done OBGYN for 12, 13 years, I've seen the fact that, especially the younger ones, they're so consumed with, oh my God, I'm pregnant, I'm 15, I'm 16, I'm 17. They're so concerned about what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do with school, how I'm gonna take care of a baby, like what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do. So the last thing that they want a doctor's office to throw on them is, we need to test your baby just to make sure your baby ain't gonna have Down syndrome.
Well, how you gonna test me?
Or we need to test your baby because it could be some type of chromosomal defect in your kid. But then here we go back to stuff we talk about all the time. Know your family history.
Family history.
And before you lay down with a woman or man, you need to know their history.
Yes.
But when they're 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, they're not gonna eat. They're not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's the hard part about it, because the pregnancy rate is getting younger and younger and younger. So they haven't even had time to worry about themselves.
But you know the sad part, Kiki? I'm not even talking about them. I'm really talking about the 18, 19, 20-year-olds that don't know the man that they done slept with.
They still young too. Between 18 and 25, they still young.
They're young, but they're not that young. They're young enough to know better, to know that, hey, I'm laying down with this man. It's a possibility that I could get pregnant. What I need to know, like 18 on up, there's no excuse. But when you're going 17 down, then they're not thinking about that.
They're really and they really not. But you know, their biggest thing is the diseases, like, you know, catching something, STD. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's not even health wise. They're not even thinking on our level of, could the baby be, you know, born with the heart outside of his chest? Could the baby be born with 5 fingers? You know, is the baby? That's not even their level of thought. It's like you're saying now, what STD? You know, you come in there.
And the first one is, I don't want to get AIDS, but they don't even think about the smaller STI or STDs. They call them STIs now.
Yeah,
they're getting fancy with them.
Peace pipe, crack pipe, same thing.
I'm old. It's an STD, damn it. It's a disease.
Well, you know, back in the day, it was an STD, but now the medical people have changed it to STI.
Yeah, they don't want to use the word disease, so they rather say infection.
Right.
It's
infection.
The same damn thing.
Exactly.
Infection, disease, infectious disease. What do you
It's all the same. Your cootie gonna stink and it's gonna burn. It's all the same. Okay.
Oh, y'all speak. Look. Why? And this, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back to Down syndrome. I promise. Put it up in a social media, because you know I can get petty from time to time.
Yeah.
Sure, prove it.
We're gonna call you Petty Betty.
Baby, I got the Petty Aries t-shirt now. You're gonna see it March 1st. Got into an argument with a lady online because somebody put a picture up, and their picture was in reference to healthy living, had women knowing their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They put a picture up of a pair of underwear on the inside, and was a little bleach looking stain on the inside. And the comment that was put on there was something along the lines of, ladies, do you know what this means? Or you should know what this means. Or do you know, basically saying, y'all see this, what this means? They knew, but they put it out there, and you had a lot of folks that said, oh my God, whoever underwear those are, there's something wrong with them. Something. And we were all like, it's nothing wrong with them underwear. It means their pH balance is healthy. But it was so many adult women that was like, they got something, they need to go to the doctor, whatever. And I was just like, oh my God.
Wait a minute. Wait. You lost me. You lost me.
You know, everybody has a different pH balance, right?
Absolutely.
If you wear a certain type of your underwear, a certain material or whatever, it'll show up different in your underwear. And so depending on what your acidic level is, sometimes on your underwear, it'll literally look like it's like you took a little bit of Clorox and just look like a little bleach stain or whatever. Because the material is reacting to your acidic level.
Yeah, but your pH balance, and I don't care how much acid you got in your body, that should not be doing that to your underwear. I'm sorry.
It can though, but the whole thing was if somebody's stuff looked like that, it didn't mean that they had, because they were trying to say that the person had a disease or the person had, whatever. It was something just crazy. And it's just like, okay, these are adults. These are adult women. Y'all don't know. Anyway, that's just, never mind. We can go back to Down syndrome.
But like I said, that just goes to show they didn't know the ignorance of not knowing your body or not knowing what things that can happen because they said what's that they asked what that little flap down there for anyway.
It's to hold your tampon. What?
Listen, Linda, listen. I mean, I know.
Why is it a pocket? They said, what's that pocket for?
You know what? Let me tell you something.
The clitoris.
But listen, while we're talking about this on a serious note, I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Because it's funny, y'all, but it's not funny.
It's not
because funny. It is sad that we have grown women who do not know their body.
Right.
They don't know when they're having a discharge, what it is. I mean, and that all goes along with pregnancy, sex, STIs, all of that stuff. So, and it's really sad. And let me tell you, back in my former days when I was a sex toy saleswoman, that was when I really found out how women did not know their body.
Yeah.
To this day, you can ask them. A lot of women don't even know what their G-spot is. They don't know.
But they don't even know they have one. Because it's almost like
one.
Because
but you have, like you're saying, you have to.
It's not priority.
Right. And if you don't know, you don't know, because they're not into that. They want to have sex. They want to have
you want to have sex, but when you're having sex, something is happening to your body. Do you not want to know what the hell is going on?
Evidently not.
They don't even know.
It doesn't matter. They just want to come. They just want to have that. They're going to get in there. He's going to go to Pound Town, and then you're going to do whatever you got to do.
But see, here's the thing.
Wait a minute. Stop.
If you think about it,
no, go back. Where is he going, Kiki?
Pound Town. But no.
Look, if you think about it, it's never been a real priority to tell a woman or show a woman what her body really does. Because there are some countries that still do the what you call it on women? What do you call it?
The chastity.
They circumcise. They circumcise their women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's some countries that still to this day circumcise because they don't want them to have the pleasure that comes from that
Right.
from the clitoris.
Right.
They don't
And
want someone to know
stitch 'em up.
that's you can be pleasured by that. So
Right.
it's like the only people that get priority as far as pleasure has always been the man. So if you don't even want me to have my clitoris, why the heck would you want to tell me that, oh, by the way, there's also a spot on your body. We call it the G spot, and it'll give you extra pleasure. Why? It's a lot of women that have never even had an orgasm because there's a difference between, you know, that little and then the big O. There's a huge difference between the and the. There's a huge difference. but it's
but all of that goes back to knowing your body and wanting to know. So as we travel on back to the Down syndrome, as we travel on back to the Down syndrome,
get up so far.
they're just you know, they don't want to know. They don't want to know, y'all. They don't want to know.
The buzz, nobody.
And but like I said, it's because they're uneducated.
Yes.
See, and that's the biggest thing because again,
but they can't get educated, Kiki, if they don't want to know. That's the thing.
What I'm saying is, you know, it used to be sex ed in the classes.
Yes.
In school.
We used to have sex ed.
It's a lot of things that they've taken out and they've removed. So nowadays, you know, and then, you know, kids, young ladies, you know, a lot of them aren't being raised with the, you know, like as we were raised by our grandmothers, our aunts to do certain things, say certain things, handle your body, you know, do certain things with your bodies. It's certain things. They're not doing that these days. Mm-mm. So, of course, that's not going to be a priority. That's not going to be at the top of the line to say, you know what, when your cycle comes on or when you get ready for your cycle, X, Y, and Z, to make sure this, that, and the third is happening. You know, when you start your cycle, you know you can become pregnant, right? Or you know there are certain kind of odors that's different because your body, our bodies give off certain smells.
Yeah.
It's not to say that we're unclean. It's just
some of them are. Well, go ahead.
Natural. Well, some are, but yeah.
Some are.
Our bodies change.
Yeah, some are. So it's just
and to go along with what you said, a woman can have a certain body odor, and it doesn't mean that she's not clean. That's just her body odor.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about from the waist down because sweat, all of that different type of stuff. But again, if we're not educating one another or educating our up and coming, then they don't know. And if you got grown women, like you said, you got grown women, they don't want to talk about it. You know, having, you know, being, you know, going to sex 101, sex classes, sex when we, like you said, when you were doing the pure romance, whatever you were doing,
I'm not pure romance.
You had to educate yourself first in order to, because somebody may have a question. So you had to educate yourself. That was important for what you had going on. But nowadays, like I say, it's just sex. It's just getting off. And then hoping you don't get pregnant or hoping you don't catch a disease and not even thinking about, like you're saying, the G spot. What's the G spot? Where's the G spot? Or you're having a orgasm. How many did you have? I mean, people looking at you like, I had one. Well, did you really? Or were you just up there making noise? I mean, do you really know what it means to have that? Do you really, so we're not being educated.
Not.
Period.
We are not. Period.
So that's why, like you said, we go back again to with these testings when us women when we're pregnant, how certain tests that they offer or that they tell you during certain different trimesters, hey auntie, that you're supposed to have to make sure that your baby is healthy, and they just be like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
my baby, all right, it's moving, it's this. It's an anatomy scan, for instance. Yeah. Most of my patients, they say when you come for your 20-week ultrasound, the only thing they were worried about was what the sex is of the baby. What's the sex of the baby? We had patients that
They getting ready for that gender reveal.
we had patients to get upset. We had patients to walk out. We had them to cry. We had them to throw because they couldn't find out the sex of the baby. For one, the baby, if the baby is turned, baby don't want to be bothered.
Right.
So you can't force the ultrasound tech to say, hey, I mean, the baby's back is turned, the baby's in this position, the baby's legs are closed. But that was only thing they were thinking about, not knowing that that 20-week ultrasound is an anatomy scan to make sure that the baby's functioning correctly, the limbs are working. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's education. And if your mama don't know, then she damn sure ain't gonna tell you. She can't teach you.
exactly.
You 13, 14, and now you pregnant. Your mama 36, but say your grandmama 52. And nobody took the time to say, hey, this is what happens when you do this, that, and the third. You know, when you're having sex, this is, you know, if you feeling this type of way, if you know, we're making it so afraid for our children to come to us and ask these type of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get older and something like I said, they just get pregnant, like, all right, I mean, it is what it is. I'm pregnant. Okay, when I'm gonna have my ultrasound?
Right. So I can
what
have
I'm having.
playing my
baby,
gender reveal, like
right, baby girl. Did you
said.
find out whether or not your baby got 10 fingers and 10 toes?
Exactly.
That's what that 20-week ultrasound is for. Oh,
right.
Oh, I thought I was just coming to see what I was having. It don't matter if the baby eye is sitting on the forehead or is at the ear. You still want, and you know, I'm just saying.
Or if the organs are reversed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
and also, you know, and also, sometimes you don't always, those things are not 100%. So just like I can say for my son, my second son, I was told he was a girl. I had a baby shower, I had dresses, cute little socks, cute little everything.
Shut up.
I was told he was a girl.
Well, that was the ultrasound tech.
And when he popped out, the little PP, and I looked at the doctor, and the doctor looked at me. I said, well, y'all told me it was a girl. It was a boy. And I was like, so how come y'all couldn't see this? So their excuse was, oh, his little PP must have been hiding. Hiding where? It ain't that damn little.
Yeah.
Like you had to see something.
Yeah.
Right.
But they honestly told me my son was a girl. I did not know I was having a boy until I popped his little ass out. And we looking at the little balls and the PP, and I'm like, what?
Gotta take all them clothes back.
Every last thing. And some of them I had to give away because some people don't give gift receipts. I had pink, you know, back then we had the pink and the blue diapers. I had pink diapers, but guess what? His ass wore them pink diapers.
I'm sure he did.
He wore them damn pink diapers. I wasn't taking them back.
Long as they
wore them pink
Nobody
diapers.
got no business on his clothes, no way.
Listen, Linda, as a newborn, he wore them damn pink diapers. Exactly. But, you know, as far as the clothes, of course, but, you know, sometimes those things aren't 100%.
Right.
You know, so, and that's another reason. And people hear that. They hear stories like mine. They hear stories that other women say that the doctor said this about my baby, but when the baby came, this happened. So, and as long as we have the internet, and as long as we have crazy people in our lives and family members who feel like, you know, doctors don't know shit, they always lying, this and you know, there are people out there who feel that way. So when you have that, along with the internet, along with people in their ears, then they feel like, you know what? Because again, like me, I didn't want that. I didn't want any of those tests. But of course, I was in the medical field too then, but I didn't want any of those tests. My thing was, I prayed, God, it whatever it is, I just want it to be healthy. I don't care if it got one eye, one leg, long as it's healthy, long as the heart is healthy, long as the lungs are healthy, long as the liver's healthy, where it can survive, I'm good.
One eye and one leg is not healthy.
That is healthy. It's just deformed, but it's healthy. So people have to know the difference between a healthy baby and a baby with a deformity. So as long as they got a healthy heart, a healthy liver, healthy kidneys, healthy intestines, colon, all of that stuff, you have a healthy child. Now you might have a child with a healthy child with a deformity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. And that's one of the reasons why people don't do stuff like this, because they don't know the difference between having a child with a deformity as opposed to having a healthy child with a deformity. You got to know the difference.
Well, say that then, because that's that's not healthy. You know, saying everything, you know, you got a healthy child, but then you got a deformity. That's hypocritical. That's being hypocritical.
It's
Now,
not. It is not. It is not. Because you have a child that don't have no fingers, doesn't affect the brain, doesn't affect the heart, doesn't affect the liver, doesn't affect the kidneys. It just affects the fact that it probably can't pick up a fork.
okay, so
With that
healthy,
one hand.
so healthy with a deformity. Like I
Yeah.
said, it has to be specified for those that don't
Specify.
understand. Because,
Specify.
like I said, to just say, you know, my child was born with one eye, one leg, you know, one, and then that's healthy. You know, people gonna look at that and say, "No, baby, that ain't nothing. That's not healthy."
But again, they have to understand the
you have to
difference.
understand the lingo, and it has to be broken down for those so they can comprehend and say, well, you know what, my baby's heart is functioning correctly. My baby, you know, this, that, and the third. There's just a disability or something that's deterring them
Mm-hmm.
from, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it has. Y'all know the difference.
Please know the difference.
We talking serious, but serious. We have to know the difference.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference.
There is
a difference. So, y'all, we're going to move along from the Down syndrome, and we're going to move into a portion that can actually connect with the Down syndrome, is pregnancy and loss.
Okay.
Till this day, to my knowledge, I do not know of a reason. They have not found a reason why these babies are dying from crib death. They just ain't found no reason.
Yeah, I've had a couple
Crib death, crib death, or what's the other word, y'all? I can't think.
SIDS.
What is it? SIDS. That's it. I couldn't even think. It was there, but I couldn't pull it out.
Death syndrome.
Yes, or SIDS, but there's no. I'm pretty sure. For me, I tried to study this a little while ago to figure out like a reason. Because when you're in OBGYN, it happens a lot more than you know on a regular basis. Because when you're not involved in that arena, you don't hear about it unless it's on the news or unless you know somebody who knows somebody. But when you're in that arena, you hear about it more often. But I feel like that there's something going on with that child. It's got to be something, because, or then again, you know, it could be the hands of the Lord. We'll never know, because they have not come up with a reason why my child is healthy. My child is doing fine. My child got 5 fingers, 5 toes, a nose, an ear, and all of that. They've checked my child out at the hospital and they have a clean bill of health. But I can go home and put my child in the bed and wake up the next morning and it's dead. Like, there's got to be something that somebody's missing somewhere. And that's just me. That's just my thinking. That's just my medical knowledge. And I just feel like somebody is missing something somewhere. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of babies that have died from SIDS, and can nobody tell these parents why?
Why? Yeah.
They talk about, because before you couldn't lay the baby on his stomach, and now it's like, you can lay the baby on the stomach, you can lay the baby on the back. It don't matter anymore. Just like back in the day when we had babies, we were staying in the hospital at least 2 to 3 days. You have a baby today, tomorrow you going home. Like,
They keeping you out, yeah.
where they do that at?
They want them beds. They want them beds.
So in a lot of the things, happen with pregnancy, and Black women have the highest rates of pregnancy loss than any other race in the world.
That's crazy.
What's going on? Like, what is in our system, or what is going on with us? Excuse me, that we are the highest rate of pregnancy loss than any other race in the world. What's happening? What's going on?
Isn't it because basically
Pregnancy death rate, it's the pregnancy death rate in the women, not the babies, the women.
Oh, the women.
It's the highest pregnancy death rate in Black. Let me get specific. Let me get the number for you. I want to give y'all the number.
Isn't it mainly because when we as Black women say we're hurting or something's wrong, they don't believe us? And so they just let whatever the problem is go on and on longer instead of them being able to catch it when the woman first says something hurt, something wrong, something don't feel right. And then they kind of ignore you.
Well, for me, I don't know as far as pregnancy, because when you're pregnant, you ain't really complaining of nothing but your back hurting and your feet swole, because you got anywhere between 1 to 6 extra beans in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, as from a medical professional standpoint, what can we do? There's nothing we can do but put you in the bed. Like for me, my second pregnancy was a high risk pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to, which I was like, always used to be scared to talk about it, but prior to my last pregnancy, I had 3 miscarriages. And you know what the doctors told me? My body was fighting the babies off. It wasn't accepting the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't tell me why. Nothing was wrong with my blood. They tested me and 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 tested me till they couldn't test me no more, until I said, this is enough. Because after all of that, they couldn't tell me why my body was fighting the babies off. It wouldn't accept them.
Oh, wow.
So my last son, he was like a miracle child. My second son, he was like a miracle child. And then it was complications with him. Like, I had a period up until I was 7 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So I was on bed rest from 4 or 5 months, for like 4 months, to throughout the end of my pregnancy. So it can be all sorts of things, but they cannot, so I'm gonna read this, what I pulled up. It said in 2021, the maternal, and that's what it's called, maternal mortality, where the mothers are dying and not the kids. Okay, so in 2021, the maternal mortality rate for Black women was 69.9 deaths per 100,000 live births.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was 2.6 times the rate for white women. 2.6 times the rate for white women. 26 point I'm sorry, y'all. That's my phone telling me it's time to do my night prayer. I'm sorry. Um, mm, I lost it. Come
It
on.
says, which is 2.6 times higher than the rate for white women.
Right.
Black women are also more likely to have preterm births,
Mm-hmm.
low birth weight babies, and receive late or no prenatal care,
Right.
which is a lot due
Right.
to medical debt, pregnancy discrimination, like you were
Mm-hmm.
saying, Nisa, lack of prenatal care, intersecting the identities, and yeah, being it's a lot, like you said, as Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then to top that off, the infant mortality rate is 10.4 for Black women, 4.4 for white women, and 2.4 for Hispanic women. So we still have the highest maternal mortality rate and the fetal mortality rate than any other race in the world. But why, y'all? Why?
Because
They're
they
not
don't
telling us
believe
why.
it. It's like when stuff happens and the mom is saying, you know, this hurts, that hurts, whatever, and it's like, oh, you're fine. Or they'll be thinking, oh, they just want drugs.
But I also
And
think
they
it's
go
what
back
Kiki
later and
said
like,
too.
oh,
I
she
also
was
think it's what
bleeding
Kiki.
internally. Oh, all that time. It's too much blood. Okay, well, she was saying something was hurting way earlier. Like you didn't. Yeah.
I think it's also something that Kiki said about I don't want to use the word racism, but something she was saying about the area you live in and about that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I think that
Being discriminated
discrimination,
against.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that Black women don't get the treatment or get treated the way that white women and Hispanics do.
They don't. They don't.
And this
Even
is
medical, well,
why,
you guys are in the medical field, you know that.
and this is could be the reason why we have the highest maternal mortality and fetal mortality rate than any other race.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we need more Black doctors, men and women, and then also you have to think about the way the tests are skewed. Our levels are different than other cultures. So sometimes you can use a certain test, like depending on I don't even know what type of issue to kind of use it, but it's like sometimes you can use a certain level that's across the board for everybody, whether they be white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes for us, our levels or our percentages may be a little different because
Mm-hmm.
we have melanin. Like all of that makes a difference. And sometimes you're lucky enough to run into a doctor that's like, well, this is the African American, and with them, their bodies are a little different, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And they'll know to use that difference. Sometimes especially if you have somebody like Kiki mentioned earlier, sickle cell. Somebody with sickle cell come in, if they're in crisis, they got a pain that's coming from the inside out.
yes,
They're like, I need some relief.
yes,
And unless you're somebody that has worked with or is familiar with somebody that has sickle cell that's in crisis, you automatically assume, oh, they're a drug addict and they just want drugs. No, they are legitimately in pain and need a specific type of relief that you have to give them. But unless you are somebody that's familiar or that even cares
right. And like I say, it's
to know that
indescribable. I
there's
had
a difference.
a friend whose son had sickle cell, and I saw him in a crisis situation,
Mm-hmm.
to where when they was in the hospital, and it was like you couldn't even touch him. He could
It's a
not
pain
even
you
be
can't
touched.
explain.
It's very unexplainable because, like you said, it's the pain is within,
Yeah.
and it's because we do. When we disrespect, when we're disrespecting ourselves, we're disrespecting our women, we're disrespecting our children. Society sees that,
Mm-hmm.
so they play on that. Why would I call her a black queen when the brother is calling her a bitch? Why would I,
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Why would I treat her any differently than her own race is treating her? Yeah, you're a doctor because you're a doctor. But like you're saying, what is the underhand? Are they really honoring their code? Or are they going off of, well, she black, she'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She tough, because again, we say, we got tough skin, we got thick skin. If we set ourselves up because we know who we are, we strong. Yeah, we strong. We can, we can endure a lot of things. So she can endure. Oh, she all right. She'll be all right. She can endure the pain. No, that's not always the case.
We
If I'm
human
telling you,
just like everybody
if
else.
I'm telling you I'm hurting, if I'm telling you that something is wrong, then damn it, you need to figure that out. You're the doctor, not me. I can only tell you what I feel.
Exactly.
Even if you do run a million tests and you say, well, it ain't nothing coming up on the test, something is wrong.
Something is wrong.
Something is wrong.
Something is wrong. And I give you a good example, just personal example for me. This was I was in my still in my 20s. That I was not married yet, but was engaged. Suddenly I had these crazy migraines. I'd never had a migraine in my life. Went to the emergency room, sat in there, walked in there, and told the doctor all of my stuff, all of my symptoms, what had been happening, how long, my history. He didn't even think about it. Oh, you're just stressed. Gave me a prescription ibuprofen for like 1,000 damn milligrams. It felt like. Sent me home. I get home. I took the pills. Nothing changed. I go right back up there. Thank God, shift change, different doctor. He immediately was like, well, of course he could go off the history of the fact that I had already been there. But he was like, okay, this, and this. Give her a spinal tap. Meningitis. I could have died at home. He immediately admitted me. And it's just like he actually cared to stop and look, because the first doctor looked like me. First doctor was just like, well, you're just stressed. Here you go. Here goes some pills. Really? Okay. Okay. I can't hold my head up. I've been vomiting, but okay. You sending me home because I'm stressed. All right. It just takes a little bit of extra effort just to check it out. Because the first doctor could have easily been like, well, you know what? That sounds like let me see. You want to do a sponsor or whatever? Like he didn't have to ask me, but make the decision.
Yeah. Off of your symptoms, because
off of my symptoms, because I'm stressed. So I can't hold my head up, and now I have a headache. I don't want to look at the lights. I've been vomiting. Does that sound like stress to you? No. And I've never had a migraine in my life.
Right. And I'm not a doctor, but that don't sound like stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I found this right here is why do so many Black women die in pregnancy? One reason, doctors don't take them seriously.
It actually says that the doctor doesn't take them seriously.
Yeah, right. That says black and white.
Wow, that is crazy.
Because there are some doctors that they don't. For whatever reason, like Gigi said, we kind of set ourselves up. We're a strong Black woman. Well, I'm a human first. don't like pain, which is another reason why I wasn't so gung-ho in having a baby, because guess what? I don't care how cute you make it look at the end. Oh, the baby. You got to push that thing out your body.
A whole nother human being.
You got, and it's got to grow, your bones shift and all that. I was like,
But we some bad mofos in order to push that all that out, and then we go back to
some bad mamma jamma.
Because I know it's some stuff that happens in between there that ain't nobody talking about, that you don't learn about until you're doing it. Like, I don't even want to know what happens to the pocketbook with all of that. I don't even want to know.
See, I just told you. You gotta push a whole human being. The pocketbook gets stretched. But you've had, and it's been said, that some men, they don't want, after, you want your man in the room with you, but then after they see
they don't want to touch you no more.
Well, they was like, will I ever be able to satisfy her again? Because I mean, well, see, that's one thing about the God and the body. He pulled that elasticity.
It gets snatched back, from what I understand.
But yeah,
from what I understand, it definitely gets snatched back. But
from what I understand.
From what I understand, I have not had the pleasure.
Okay.
Of going through that.
I wouldn't change mine for the world, though. It was a beautiful experience.
And see that part, like everybody has that same mindset. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I'm sitting there going, okay.
I would. I should have swallowed them little motherfuckers.
Oh,
You're not on mute, baby. You're not on mute. You're not on mute. What? Are you sure you just drinking on the palm? Are you sure?
I'm positive, no alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. I love my little brats. Well, not my little brats. They're my grown brats now.
Allegedly.
You're right. Allegedly. You're right. Allegedly. No, but I mean, did I say that?
Out loud, you did.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I'm trying to give you some, give you a little wiggle room there. Allegedly is what she
okay.
I mean, allegedly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I change it. Yeah. We gotta come back. But anyway, so
Is it time for a break? Is it time for a break? Is it time for a commercial?
It's time for a commercial.
We will be right back.
We'll be right back
in 90 seconds. We're gonna see y'all just in a few minutes. Just hold on. We'll be right back.
Lady K, are you ready?
I know she's ready.
Hey, it's Lady K of the Ladies Den. Welcome to the Den. Listen, if you're a business owner or if you have an event that you want to promote, we welcome you to advertise in the Den. All you have to do is send us your information to theladiesden23@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that you get all the information that you need. Our prices are very comparable, and we welcome you to come and chat with us and let our den dwellers know what you have going on. Again, send us your information to theladiesden23@gmail.com, and we'll make sure you get all of your information. Thank you for following us, and thank you for rocking with us every Thursday, live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen, Keep rocking with us, okay? Thank you to all of our den dwellers, and we'll see you in the den. Bye-bye.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. What we was talking about?
Oh my God.
No, honestly, a serious note though. We were talking about Black women and maternal mortality rates being higher than any other race in the world.
Yeah.
Fetal mortality rates being higher than any other race in the world. So, when you have, like my sis said, these doctors who don't believe that something is going on with you or that you're feeling bad or you're hurting or this or that, on being on that side of the spectrum, I feel like it's just not that they don't believe you. It's that they feel like, okay, you're pregnant. What can I do? Because one, when you're pregnant, you are limited to pain medications and different medications that you should or should not take. You are limited to things you can do. So normally, if it's that bad and it's bothering you and your feet are swelling and your hands are swelling and other things, like most people get the feet swelling. Most people get the nose. I know some people's hands have swollen. They look like mitts. And it's from pregnancy because of the fluid. But at this point, it's honestly nothing that the doctor can do to give you, to help you, that won't harm your baby. So the first thing they do is send you home and put you on bed rest.
Okay.
That's the best that they can do to help you while you're pregnant. Now we'll talk about the other stuff another time when your body is going through things and things are happening and they just don't believe you, like the fibromyalgia, for example. The doctors feel like they say it's a disease, but some of them feel like, oh yeah, I don't know what you want. You pretending, you this, you that, you this, you that. So, but it is an actual disease. But here we are again with another disease that's prominent in Black people and Black women that you can't tell me why it's happening to me.
Right.
There's still no reason or rhyme or reason about what is fibromyalgia besides pain, but why am I having it?
Right.
They still don't know. So here's another statistic about Black people. So, what can you do? What can you do? When you're pregnant, is really nothing you can do. Just follow the doctor's orders. You can eat healthy, you can take your prenatal vitamins, and you can make sure that you're going to all of your doctor's appointments. Because again, in each trimester, there are certain tests that need to be done to assure that you do have a healthy baby. Now, there's some things that are happening inside your belly that we have no clue about until either the baby gets here or there's a test that we can take prior to prepare you for what might be coming. But then when you get to that other side of delivery, Black women are dying on the table while they're during childbirth.
Yep.
Or these babies are stillborn or dying right after delivery that nobody can tell us why.
Yeah.
So, the only important thing is for Down syndrome, get checked, do the chromosomal test, do the amniocentesis, do the ultrasounds, do your whatever you can do to know so that you can prepare yourself for whatever is to come. On the other hand, the Black women maternal mortality rate is really nothing you can do about that. Unless you are one of those women that are on drugs, that are on the street, and you're pregnant and you're not doing anything, then that could be a cause. But as far
Could
as
be.
the high maternal mortality rate, they're not giving a cause. Why Black women are dying on the table. And Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine has teamed up with Kamala Harris to talk about this and to really dive into why Black women are dying on the table during childbirth. And I wish that I could join them to try to figure this out, because that's some real stuff that we need to know.
It's serious.
It's
It's
very
very
serious.
serious.
And what people don't understand, and women don't understand, the very second you conceive, your life is in jeopardy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The very minute. And everybody only thinks, oh, I'm having a baby. Oh, I'm bringing a life into the world, which is fine. It's joyous. It's happy. And I'm happy for anyone that has a baby, that has brought a child into this world. Because again, it's an experience that you can never explain to anybody unless they're a woman and they didn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a joy that nobody else can give you.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to, you gotta know what's going on the minute you conceive. Really and truly, if you think about it medically, it's almost your life or the babies, or both of y'all gonna make it, or maybe one might not make it, maybe the other. You just don't know when you get pregnant, especially as a Black woman. And as any woman, your life, I don't think we stop to think about what's happening. You are producing another life. Your body is opening up. It's almost like a snake. Like when a snake eats a rabbit, I'm just saying, as far as like how their bodies contort. When a snake eats a rabbit, you know, all of their bones in their body breaks. Their mouth is, all of that breaks open so that they can eat that thing. It's just like us having a baby. I know y'all be hearing that, well, cracking and all that stuff going on. Our bodies are just doing all kind of amazing things so that we can push out another life. So look at Lisa like, yeah, you think about it. You don't think about it like that. You don't. Because all you think is, oh, I'm having the babies coming out my coop. But do you understand what your body is doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, but I mean, we have to put a stop. I don't know how we can do it, but we have to put a stop to this high maternal mortality rate for Black women dying on the table during childbirth. I mean, I don't know what we can do, but we got to do something.
Just have to start paying attention and just being more aware that there are differences and there are different things that can happen. Because it's been more than one. Because who was it? The reality show, divorce court judge, her daughter-in-law, passed on the table after she gave birth because she had internal bleeding. And another example of her saying something don't feel right. And even the husband saying, hey, my wife said something don't feel right. And they were just like, oh, she's fine. We'll check. We'll look. And then internal bleeding and she's gone. And she had been bleeding internally that entire time. Ooh. It's just, you need to pay attention and know that there's a difference and that there's a chance. If they realize that there's a chance, then they'll at least kind of, you would think, they would pay extra attention and be like, okay, we don't want to lose this one. Let's make sure
But here's the thing, the doctors know. They know that there's a chance the minute a woman conceives, the doctors know that there's a chance that woman might not make it.
And that's what I was about to say. The doctors
They know.
that we are putting our lives in jeopardy the moment we conceive.
The moment.
Because there's so much, like you said, that goes on with a woman's body. And, you know, men need to take heed because, you know, they, you know, y'all walk around like it's, you know, all is well because it is with y'all.
Yeah, they passing
You know,
out
but
cigars.
you don't, you know, y'all don't realize the, what you say, Lisa?
They passing out cigars and shit.
Oh, like you done did something.
You did something. You ain't do nothing.
To have to endure that pain and the body changing and all that for 9, 10 months, really.
Yeah.
You know, all of that, the highs, the lows, the emotional roller coaster, you know, you got the, you know, they giving push gifts now. Give me mine. I want mine. Give me mine now. I push. Yeah, I pushed twice. So I need my gifts on the back end, but
get your man.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crucial. It is very, very crucial. And again, knowing is the best. We have to know, we have to educate, it ain't cute. You know what I'm saying? Is that, you know, you're thinking, you know, you're pregnant and it's, oh, that's cute. It's a lot more than just being cute.
Yeah.
When you become pregnant.
And nowadays I've noticed a lot of women, a lot of older women that are getting pregnant. And I'm not talking like 40s, but like in their 30s.
In their 50s though.
No, but what I'm saying is those women are not telling people they're pregnant till after a certain time too. Because back in the day, you didn't tell anybody you were pregnant till after that first month of pregnancy.
First trimester.
Till you're out of the water. So after that first 6 to 8 weeks, till you're out of trouble, then you started telling people. But now somebody missed their period. They're like, oh, I'm pregnant, girl. I'm pregnant.
Again, it's society because it's the excitement of it is, you know, we get to do a gender reveal. What?
And I want to know who the hell came up with that. Who came up with that?
You got a gender reveal, you got a baby shower, you got a diaper cake shower, you got all of this. And you got to pray that this baby makes it through all of this.
All of that.
All of this. Yeah.
Because this gender reveal stuff, like, I want to know who started that crap.
I've been in the office where a mother has been, she 39 weeks pregnant and she coming every week and she goes back there to get her ultrasound and there's no heartbeat.
No heartbeat, yes.
And she has to deliver and push that baby out.
Yeah.
Because she's at the end. I've been there when they're a set of twins in her 20-week ultrasound, the twins are at the demise and she has to deliver that. I've been in the office seeing these patients go from 1 week to another week joyful and smiling. And the next moment they come back, they're screaming and hollering in their back because the ultrasound tech can't tell them. The doctors have to come in there and speak to them, and you can't find a heartbeat. They're rushing them to the hospital. So it's more than just the excitement of the pregnancy and being pregnant. There's a health risk. Like I said, every time you become pregnant, there is a health risk.
And the bad part is
rejecting, you know, like you were saying, if the body starts, you know, rejecting it, then you're having these miscarriages. After miscarriages, they're doing cerclages to keep the baby in there after a certain time. Hey, I've been around it. I was around it for 13 years. So I done seen it pretty much almost all of it, except for on the back end being in the delivery room. But it's just, we have to educate ourselves, and we have to, as a people, as women of color, we have to stop looking at this thing as in just, ooh, I'm having a baby, ooh, I'm pregnant, ooh. We got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And they also have to understand that while you're pregnant, like you said, Kiki, if something happens to this fetus inside your stomach, you still have to go through the delivery process. They're
Once
not
you,
going to cut your stomach open and pull the baby out.
once
It's
you,
not that easy. They're going to
yeah,
induce, and you have to push that dead baby out
just like
of
you would have
you.
had to, just yep. So that's another mental.
Another mental thing, right? Absolutely.
I stillborn. I had to deliver my baby at 9 months old with no life, stillborn. You had to deliver a demised baby. It's we have to become better educated women. I mean, just us of color, but women as a whole. But
Yeah.
again, if the pregnancy rate is so now, it's so many young people out there, they ain't worried about that. They only worried about the gender, not the gender
The gender
reveal,
reveal.
the
And the
Yeah.
ultrasound.
baby
They want to know
shower.
about the ultrasound and what they having and the gifts at the baby shower. They're not
Yeah.
even worried about the testings and the stuff that they have to go through and
Hmm.
whether or not you're going to get up off that table, whether or not
Right.
the baby is in a different position. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Breach.
Breach.
Nobody is thinking about this. And in their young minds is like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with my baby. I ain't got to go to the doctor. And yes, you do.
You do, to make sure ain't nothing wrong with the baby.
But make sure ain't nothing wrong with you.
That too.
Gestational diabetes.
And that's serious.
Having the baby when they're in the tube. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Ectopic pregnancies. All of this stuff, nobody is thinking about this. I don't say nobody, I apologize. Not enough.
Your average woman is not thinking about
Not enough of us is really thinking about what's going on. We need more of our men to attend these doctor's appointments. We need
Yes.
more of our men to say, "Hey, babe, I'm going." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When's your doctor's appointment? I need to be there. I need to understand this emotional roller coaster. When she going through that, when she need her back rub, when she need her foot rub. You need to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, 16, 17, 18, hell, they can't even keep their damn pants up. So they ain't worried about it.
They ain't thinking about it at all.
So it's almost like, well, damn, should we have stapled up our girls, our women it's crazy because mentally they're not prepared. They're very immature at 13 and 14. What do you know about a baby? You're still a baby. And because you don't have that type of relationship or communication with your parents, half of them are not saying anything until it's too late.
Right.
The parent is not paying attention because they're not there at the house.
Right.
And then you like, oops, what is that? What did you eat? That's not a watermelon, baby. That's a whole human being that she's got to deliver. And what can she deliver it? Will she be able, you know what I'm saying? Will she be able to deliver? Will she be able to push this baby out? Will something happen with anything? Because we're uneducated. We're not educating ourselves enough to say what's priority, what's important. When you get pregnant, what do? There's classes, but who's going to the classes? Nobody. What do we do? You on mute.
And I was saying that it's not all women and it's not all men. Some men want to be involved because they're so excited. Excuse me. They want to be involved. Some women want the men to be involved. And then too, we as women, we don't really be like, okay, you're gonna come with me to the doctor. Be like, oh, I got an appointment, and we have an appointment. It's really up to you to say, hey, I would like to come to this appointment with you. Or, is it okay if I come? Blah, 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 blah. But if they're married, then that's different because most of the men want to be there
Yeah.
and
most
they want to
most of
know
them work.
what's going on and how to handle certain situations when it comes to a pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't always have the men that want to be there and want to know. All they want is their baby and better make sure it's a boy.
Because I don't make girls. Yes, you do.
Right, listen.
Yes, you do, sir.
And see, the thing is, they don't even understand that women only give off X chromosomes. Men give off X and Y chromosomes. So
Biology.
and that's another thing. They need to understand their bodies and they need to know how their bodies work.
They quit teaching it in school. Like Kiki was saying, we used to have sex ed as a part of health, at least.
And
Yeah.
health and physics.
Everybody
Yeah.
used to take
Education.
health. Even
I
if
don't
you
even
didn't
know.
take biology.
Do they
Huh?
even still have physical education in schools?
No.
They don't
Not
have
like
PE no more? Wow.
no.
Wow.
Everything that the way that we grew up with, now they get in school, all they do is test. What they testing on, I don't know, because these kids is coming out dumb and dumber. But that's another topic. But but they don't even. I don't even know if they like.
Dumb and dumber.
I don't even know if they teach like biology anymore. Like if that's an option in high school.
Yeah.
Or no, forget high school. We started in middle school because that's when your body, just when you started going into puberty.
Right.
So we
Well, the
started
school
then to
systems have
learn.
changed so much. They've changed. So the school systems have changed so much. Like I know my granddaughter, she had geometry in fifth or sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't have geometry till I was in sophomore in high school. What the hell? Why y'all giving this to fifth and sixth graders? Like what?
Yeah.
But it's just I think and I don't understand why the school systems are so different. While the education is so poorly done.
It's very poorly done.
And I hear people saying different, like my little niece, she lives in Baltimore. She's moving here to Georgia next year. And she's like, I don't want my child to go to school in Baltimore. The education system is horrible because she works in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. So, how do you choose? And if the kids can't learn, I know the adults ain't learning.
Well, it's almost like you have to damn near homeschool. You gotta learn so you can teach your kid.
But
so they can know some other stuff. Do you have the time? Probably not. But still.
Right. But that's again, that's that, but still, yeah.
Stuff gotta give. You either want your child to know or learn from the streets, which is probably not the right information from the streets. So you got to figure out, okay, let me learn it so I can tell my children so they can know, because they're not gonna learn it in school because they ain't gonna teach it.
But still, how does that? I mean, education is one thing, but when we're talking about pregnancy loss and maternal mortality rate, how can we fix that? We can't. How can we stop African American women for having the highest number in maternal mortality rate? Education is not going to fix that, because these women have been to the doctor. They're taking their vitamins. They've had the chromosomal defect testing. They've had all of these things. But yet, after they deliver a baby, they're dying on the table. And why is the rate so high amongst African American women? Why is the rate so high among African American fetals? The fetal mortality rate. So what is it about Black people or Black women that we're most susceptible to all of these things that are happening, especially with females. We can even go further. High blood pressure, diabetes, Black people, highest rate.
Mhm.
So it's like, what I think I see, y'all got my mind going now. What I need to dig deeper as a nurse, even though most of this stuff is not my field, but now it's making me wonder, like, why are all these things higher in Black people? One, diabetes and hypertension, I know, because we eat bad.
I was about
We
to
like
say,
soul food. We like seasoning. We like flavor. We like hot sauce. We like spicy. Now, I know those are some of the reasons for hypertension and diabetes. We like rice. We like potatoes. We like the soul Southern food. White folks don't eat that kind of stuff. Asian folks, they don't eat that kind of stuff. They eat some rice and they good. Or they're eating insects and things and all of those things. They're doing that. So, they're not eating bad like we are. But that's another subject. But when we're talking about like Black women are just dying on the table after
yeah,
they have a baby.
yeah, yeah. But it just goes back to the fact that we African American people, our body makeup is so different. But because of just the foundation of this country, we have always been the second class citizen that nobody like you. They have to have us, but they didn't really want us type situation. So, okay, now they're because of a constitutional amendment, we got to recognize them as humans.
Mhm.
Now we got to accommodate them with, hospitals and whatnot. And even though now today, it's a little bit better, whatever, the system still has not been updated to actually find out how our body ticks, how our systems tick. Beyond the fact that they now know how to pull melanin from us and inject it
Mhm.
into other people because they want to turn brown. That's actually happening right now.
Right.
They know how to pull stuff from us, but they've never tried to find out how we really tick to help us, to heal us.
Yeah.
And one thing that I was looking at is because of our body makeup and our overall system makeup, even if it is, kind of diluted with other cultures, and I'm just gonna say it like that. I don't care, I mean it. It has been said that we should have a alkaline diet. And when I say diet, I mean it's just certain foods and stuff that line up with that. And that would allow us, specifically us, our bodies to be healthier just across.
Well, to get more technical, not necessarily an alkaline diet. We
Mhm.
should be eating a diet according to your blood type.
What did I say?
Yes, ma'am. You should be eating according to your blood type. And that's just not African Americans, that's everybody.
Well, that's everybody, but I mean specifically for us.
Specifically for us, we should definitely be eating according to your blood type. And just like Nisa just showed that book, I just saw one that I'm going to order for my blood type because I'm O positive.
Got it from
So,
Amazon.
and start eating from my blood type, what they say is best for my blood type as an African American woman, and what it says to my blood type, what's healthy for me and what's not healthy for me.
But here's the thing, even as a person, even though we all have the same blood type, because we have the mixture that we have, we're still a little bit different. But the medical system has not and will not try to figure out how is it different. Like if a Black person walks in and we're looking at somebody that may have, some sort of, I don't know, we could say high blood pressure or whatever, there might be a little bit of a difference from a Black person to somebody else, to look at, to measure the different percentages. But we'll never know that because nobody really cares enough about us to figure it out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why when it comes down to, like we're talking about the mortality rate with us, after we have the baby, we laying in the bed, we're telling the doctor something don't feel right, something wrong. And the first thing they say is, oh, it's just, you just had the baby. Oh, you'll be fine. Oh, you just had the baby. Meanwhile, you got blood filling up your whole cavity from somewhere.
Right.
And they haven't, and I don't even know, is there like a test or something they can look? Can they do some sort of a x-ray or something to see if you're bleeding internally when that happens? Or
they can do an MRI or a CT scan,
Or
but
ultrasound
if
too.
you're bleeding internally, a CBC would tell them that because something's going to be missing. Either your platelets is going to be low, your red blood cell count is going to be low, your white blood cell count is going to be low, and it's going to be extremely low. So then it can tell them that you're bleeding from somewhere. Now, the ultrasound of the CT can tell them where you're bleeding from, but a blood test can tell them if you're bleeding internally. Because something ain't gonna be right, and
the level is gonna be off.
The level gonna be way off.
Yeah.
To the point where your CBC is probably gonna say, "Oh, she about to die." So that means she bleeding from somewhere. Your red blood cell count and the white blood, they 2 and 3 and 4. You about to die. So that means you're bleeding internally, but where they would have to rush you to a CT, a MRI, or some type of ultrasound, a scan, or something to figure out where you're actually bleeding. And the thing about it is, you could be bleeding all in your cavity. They can see all of that, but they might probably have to do a MRI to see exactly where that blood is coming from. Because if your whole internal cavity is filled, then they can't see nothing. But the MRI can give them the point of where MRI is the most inclusive or the most on point scan that a body can get. Because they can really see down to the muscles and the tendons and the arteries and all that. You can't see all that stuff with a CT, and you cannot see all that stuff with an X-ray.
Right.
So
that my point is, if a patient says that, instead of them being kind of brushed off like, oh, you just had the baby. Oh, it's just a pain for this. Oh, it's just, you're just probably doing this. How about you check and see, especially if they say it more than once. Oh, something really don't feel, or I hurt, or I whatever.
Okay, but in a medical professional's defense, you can tell me I don't feel right, this hurt, that hurt, but then when a doctor comes in, you have to. This is why you have to know your body and you have to know what's going on. Because if I'm your doctor and you just had a baby and you telling me, oh, something don't feel right, what doesn't feel right? You have to be able to tell me, well, you know what? My chest is hurting. It feels like a stabbing pain, or it feels like water in there or something. You got to explain to me. And I'm going to tell you why they don't do all of the things that you're saying. Is because one, you can tell me something don't feel right, but if you can't explain to me what doesn't feel right, now I'm about to load you up with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of testing to try to figure it out. Then you pissed off because now you get a bill for $75,000 for a test that, the first thing you're going to say, well, I didn't ask for that test. No, you didn't ask for that test, but you're telling me something is wrong. You can't explain to me what's going on, what you're feeling, where's the pain. You can't do that. So then I'm trying to, what they do is rule out. So I'm going to run 15 tests to rule out what I think might be wrong with you. So this is one of the reasons why doctors just don't come in and start running all these tests, because you're saying Something don't feel right.
But if I
Mhm.
can't explain to you, if I can't take, because I'm not a doctor. So if I'm telling you I'm hurting in my bottom, if I'm telling you that I got pressure in my chest, because I don't know if it's any liquid or anything, any fluid or anything inside of me. Only thing I can tell you is that I got pressure in my chest, or my bottom is hurting, or I got a pain in the lower, in the bottom of my stomach. I'm telling you what I feel.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's all I can give you, because that's all I got to go off of.
But
So from
listen, when
that,
you
you
say that, they're gonna ask you though, Kiki. He's gonna ask you. You can't just tell a doctor, well, I got pain in my bottom. Okay, where in your bottom? What this is, and they're gonna ask those questions. Where in your bottom? What kind of pain is it? Are you having a discharge? Are you bleeding when you use the bathroom? They're gonna ask these questions, but 9 times out of 10, I have seen it so much. I have worked so many around the spectrum of any parts of medical. They don't know, because you know what? You can go to the bathroom and poop and wipe yourself. The average person is not going to look at their tissue to see what's going on. Even if you don't want to look at your tissue, you're not going to turn around and look in the toilet to see what your poop looks like. So when
I
you
do.
go to the
Go ahead.
doctor, you feeling bad, you got diarrhea, the doctor asks you, okay, so how was your stool? And first of all, some ignorant fuckers don't even know what stool is.
Yeah.
So then how's your poop? Oh, I don't know. So you got diarrhea. You know it's coming out watery, but you can't tell me, and it might sound gross, but you can't tell me if they got chunks in it. If it was just a brown fluid, or was it smooth? Was it soft? Was it, people don't do that. So that's
Yeah,
why I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm not expecting the average person to be a
yeah.
doctor, but don't nobody know what's going on with your body better than you.
But they
So
think,
you
well,
have to
the thing
explain it the
they
best way you
thinking,
can.
well, and that makes a whole lot of sense. But they, again, there goes education, because 9 times out of 10, you're my doctor. So my thing is, I'm coming here and I'm telling you I'm hurting. I'm telling you where I'm hurting. Now I expect you to fix it. But you have to
Don't work
be
that way.
detailed. I know it doesn't, but that's what I'm saying. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying. We're not as, I'm just coming here to tell you, because you my doctor. Shit, you supposed to tell me what's going on. I'm trying to explain to you what I'm having, what the pain is, this and the third. Now I'm giving it to you. No, like you just said. Now you have to be specific and in depth in everything. But again, who's turning around looking in the toilet? Me, besides me.
Me,
Who's turning
I'm
around and,
looking.
who's checking for all of these things? If you hurting, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, if this is a regular pain, if this is something
I'm
you ain't never
looking.
felt before, what's the level of your pain? Yeah, they're gonna ask that, and yes, some of these questions you got to be able to answer in order to get an answer.
And I mean, we can even go as simple as, we don't have to talk about the poop thing. We can go as simple as just blowing your nose when you have a runny nose. Do you know some people can't even say if their mucus is clear, if it's greenish, if it's yellow, because they blow their nose and they're not looking. I'm looking. If I'm sick, now if I
It's
know it's my
mine.
sinuses,
It's
I'm
mine.
just blowing my nose. I'm not looking.
So, oh, that was Judge Hatch's daughter-in-law.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow! So
Mhm.
her
And
son,
this was a
In
while ago.
2016.
This was
In 2016.
yeah,
oh, is the date on here?
yeah, you
Hold
just passed
on.
it up. It's right under the heading.
But this was
Look right there,
2016.
2016. Yeah, but so
Right
what did they
here.
say? What did they say happened to her? Was it just
2016.
one of those maternal mortality things where nobody could
So
explain
she
why this
gave
woman
birth,
died?
I
but
said he
then
butchered her. So that's what the heading is saying.
But I mean, how could he
But
butcher her? They're
yeah,
not
look at,
stuffing
let
anything
me
up
see
her
if this will
cootie.
play.
I don't know, y'all. It's I can see both sides. I can see the side as a medical professional, and I can see the side as a patient. So yeah, y'all know I'm biased when it comes to medical stuff because I
Well, I
can
mean,
see
like
the
I said,
medical side.
I agree into to the point of you got to be specific when it comes to trying to explain yourself. But again, I'm just going off if I can't explain this, and literally I'm not trying to be funny. I can't explain. Well, ma'am, I can't explain this pain that I'm having is something I've never had before. I can't explain it. That's giving you the truth. That is giving you my outright truth. I went to bed 2 years ago. I take that back. I fixed me a nice baked spaghetti. It was pretty. It was good. I had garlic bread, everything. I go to bed. I'm up at 3:00 in the morning. Because why? I'm folded over. I can't even stand up. What's going on? I'm hurting. The bottom of my belly is hurting. And then I start to vomit. I've never, you know what I'm saying? I knew something was wrong with my body then when I start throwing up. Because what am I throwing up for? I get rushed to the emergency room. And as I'm folded over, the nurse is saying, so what's going on? So what's happening? Ma'am, I'm in a bag right now, so I really can't. But and it's like you're saying, it's when you're in pain and you got all this stuff going on, and you trying to, and some of them are very insensitive.
Some of them are.
They're just there to do a damn job. Okay, what's going? What you trying to explain? So you look, I'm hurting. I don't know I don't know. I've never had this pain before. This, that, and the third one, and I'm starting throwing what. So you rushed me in there. Long story short, I had to have an emergency appendectomy. Never had any issues. Never had any problems. And they wheeled me upstairs. So can you just imagine me saying, hey, I'm hurting. I don't know what's going on, but I ain't never felt like this before. And they said, well, Miss Lewis, you know what? I really can't say. So you know what? Let's just take, we just gonna give you this. It sounds like you got a boo-boo, or sounds like you might be constipated, or sounds like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just taking the time to say, okay, these are some symptoms of X, Y, and Z. Let's run some tests. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that, and then we can break it down.
But can I tell you something? You probably had little symptoms about your appendix that you ignored.
But how am I supposed to know there's an appendix symptom if I didn't know?
But listen, because what I'm saying, what we've talked about and what I've said on this show numerous of times, you can have a headache and something going on with your heart. You could have a bellyache and something going on with your head or your feet. So your pain or your symptoms doesn't always coincide with the item or the organ that is being affected.
Okay.
So sometimes we have little symptoms that we ignore because we're thinking we got a slight headache. Just like me, I made an appointment to the doctor because 2 weeks ago I started getting headaches again. I haven't had a headache. I have not had a literal headache in over 12, 13 years. I don't get headaches. But the last 2 weeks, they have come back. So you know what? I'm going to the doctor. I don't care if I don't eat. I don't care the drinking. I have not had an actual headache in over 12 years. So that way I know something is wrong.
But if you have not had those symptoms, you feel me? Because again, I still say whether I've had a cramp in my belly, that could have been, like I said, could have been constipation, could have been, and if it goes away, then you're not gonna paying attention to it because you're like, okay, well, all I had to do was boo boo. I went in there, you used the bathroom, you okay. Or anything to draw a flag up to say, hey, this is happening again. You need to go get it checked. So there were no signals in that realm for me to say, this is reoccurring. This is reoccurring. This is really get that checked out. No.
Yeah.
I go to, and I can't leave out the Red Rock, because that's why I don't drink them now, because I think whatever it was going on, that Red Rock opened it, because we know back in the day, Red Rock was for everything. Drink a Red Rock. When I drank that after eating, I had that Red Rock. I think whatever was going on, that Red Rock say, I'm going right directly to your issue.
Appendix.
And did what it, So, and it had not ruptured, praise God, but it was very inflamed. So, and I told the doctor, because I'm like, what am I here for? She's like, well, we're going to do emergency surgery. And I said, on who and for what? She say, for your appendix. I say, what's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it?
Right.
She's like, no, it's you. We need to have emergency surgery. I say, no, ma'am. I say, can you give me something I can go home? She said, yeah, we can. She said, but you will be back. So I could have went home, because I'm like, you're not finna cut me open and do no surgery on me. And I could have.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been that one to say, well, she didn't say it was ruptured. Like, because you hear most people when they say their appendix, they've ruptured and they're damn near dead. Or people have died from what. She didn't say all that. She said your appendix is inflamed and we need to get that taken out. No, we're not doing all that. And then I had just got my hair done. So I had to take all these clamps, bobby pins out of my hair.
Yep, to go to surgery.
So and I'm making light of the situation, but it wasn't then, because for me to, in 10 hours of me leaving, going to work, going home, eating, laying down, and then rush to the hospital, having emergency surgery of something I've never had surgery. You know what I'm saying? Besides having a baby, I've never had that happen to me before. So I was feared for, my life, literally, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What's going on? But a
lot of times we ignore stuff, especially as Black women, because we don't want to miss work. We got the kids, we got this. We ignore little stuff. We ignore little signs. We ignore little symptoms, and we ignore them, and then we forget about them until something big happens. And then we'll be like, you know what? I did have that headache 3 weeks ago. Or, after I drank so-and-so, my stomach was hurting, but it went away, so I didn't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. But especially internally, there's always a sign. But it might come from a place where you don't think, or that's not the actual organ or thing that is actually affected. It could come from something else. So we ignore a lot. We do, as Black women, because we got so much on our plate. We got so much to do.
We don't ignore them to an extent, but we figure that we can just treat it and go on, because like you said, we got work, we got children, we got this, we got that, and we don't take up enough time for ourselves to say that, because I'll tell them all day long, they just want ass in a seat. So if I'm there, guess what? They're gonna replace me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I came
the
in
minute
here.
you can't be there.
In here looking. You are replaceable to these people.
Yeah.
We're there paying their bills. You know what I'm saying? We helping them out.
Yeah.
They don't, they might send you a flower and a card.
A flower, just one.
A flower. You might get a flower and a card that everybody might not even sign. You know what I'm saying? Somebody ain't going.
Right.
But we have to, like you said, we as a people, we as women, as just period, we got to start taking better care of ourselves and saying, okay, and I'm speaking out loud, so I'm talking definitely to myself, because at the end of the day, being stressed out, being overworked, being underpaid, and
Mm-hmm.
something happens to you or something happens to me, they're gonna put somebody else's ass in that seat the next day or next 2 days.
Ass and seat. Ass and seat.
That's all, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. So we have to start saying what's most important. My life, I love me.
Right.
I love me some me.
Yeah.
So make it light on yourself. make it easy, make it light on yourself.
Oh my God. I haven't heard that saying in a long time. Make it light on yourself.
Light on
Oh
yourself.
my God.
We
But
have
you know,
Mhm.
absolutely, you know, guys, we just try to bring y'all the information. You know, we try to share with you guys what we're learning as we speak to y'all, as
Mhm.
we bring important topics to you guys, like we talked about in the first hour, Down syndrome. You know, we it's a double chromosome 21. It doubles up, and that's what causes Down syndrome.
Mhm.
And it can't be taken away, but it can be early detected. So if
Mhm.
you are pregnant, make sure you're taking your vitamins, make sure your vitamins, make sure you're going to your doctor's appointments, make sure you're taking your ultrasounds, make
Yes.
sure you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing throughout those different trimesters, because every trimester there's a different test.
Different.
There's
Yep.
also the glucose test to make sure that you don't have gestational diabetes.
And I don't even
Um,
remember that. I don't remember even taking the test. And that's just being honestly. I was
and
like,
let me
oh,
tell
I
you
drink that.
how,
I said, I drink that nasty drink.
girl,
I had it.
listen.
I don't. That's a bottle of sugar. I did. I don't remember it. But yeah, it's like you saying. You have to every trimester. There's something different, and y'all take care of yourselves.
I will
Please.
never forget it because I threw it all up and they had to cancel the test.
Absolutely, you
So
got to
I
take it.
will
Oh,
never
and
forget that
but
test.
if you throw it up and you don't pass the first one, guess what? You got to come back for 3 hours. You get stuck for
And
3
I
hours.
threw it up again. And I lucked up and I had to do what they call a 2-hour postprandial, where I was able to go out and eat breakfast, but I had to do stuff like eat pancakes, get strawberries. I had to eat all sweet stuff, drink orange juice. It had to be sweet. Like I couldn't get no grits and bacon and all. I mean, I had bacon. I had to have the bacon, but you had to eat like pancakes or waffles, and you had to have fruit, and you had to have the sweetest orange juice. So that was their way of putting sugar into your body. And the minute you take the last bite, you time 2 hours from that and go get your blood drawn. So because I failed the 1 hour, I failed the 3 hour because that stuff was too nasty and sweet. I threw it up. So we did the 2 hour postprandial. But again, in each trimester, there are tests.
Yeah.
I just want us as Black women to get out of that, and not just the Black women, but everybody, all women, to get out of that. I don't want to know as long as I have a healthy baby. Well, if you take these tests, then you'll know if you're going to have a healthy baby.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So, the Down syndrome is a test that can be taken while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Again, it won't change the outcome, but it can prepare you for what's to come.
Yeah. You better.
And we and we also leaned over and talked about pregnancy and loss.
Yeah.
There's still not a reason why SIDS is around. And fortunately, you don't really hear about SIDS as much as you used to back
Boy,
then.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a lot, but you don't hear about it as much.
Yeah.
And again, African American women have the highest maternal mortality rate in the world out of all the races that there is. Hispanic women have the lowest rate. That's why they got 20,000 kids. Okay. But, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to know our body. We have to take our vitamins. We have to visit the doctor. And, we're hard on the men, but they got women out here that don't want to go to the doctor. I hate the doctor. But we need to get checked out too.
Yep, we do.
Get the tatas checked out.
Every year, at least.
Get the little get your business down there checked out.
Every year, at least.
Get your pocketbook checked out. Make sure ain't no loose change in there.
Get no loose change in your pocketbook. Get your pocketbook checked out.
Check your pocketbook, loose change.
But you guys, we will continue to bring you information that we feel is important to our African American, our African American community, and just the community, period.
Yeah.
October is Awareness Month, y'all. There is so many different things that you need to be aware of in the month of October. Yeah. We chose spinal bifida, we chose domestic violence, and we also chose Down syndrome and pregnancy and loss of pregnancy. We chose those topics to talk about this month.
Yeah.
So do your research, guys. And again, if you all want us to discuss a topic that you've been thinking about, that you want to hear about, you want some information about, make sure you email us at theladiesden23@gmail.com, or you can post it on our Facebook page. We're always looking for new topics. We're always looking for guests. If you want to be a guest on our show, you can always reach out to us. We are uncut. We are uncensored. Y'all got to know that by now with my mouth. But we are uncut and we are uncensored. We do not pre-record our shows. I never wanted to do that in the beginning, because I want you guys to get the raw, uncut us, and I want you to get the raw, uncut information that we're giving. And we don't always know everything. If you go back and watch this show from the very beginning, you'll see, and me as a nurse, I don't know everything. Some things I got to research, and we'll research so that we can bring you correct information. So we thank you guys for just rocking with us, for hanging in there with us. And, we're going to keep bringing it to y'all. We're going to keep giving y'all the information. We have serious shows. We have funny shows. We have all kind of shows. We're not always serious, but when it comes to certain topics, we're serious about getting you the correct information so that you can know.
Yes, definitely.
It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ladies, go get your tatas checked out. Go Please. Get them checked. Go get them checked. Go get them checked. Go get them checked.
Please.
Quick story. I was working with a doctor. She did a mammogram. It was fine. The next week, she in the shower. She feels a lump. She got breast cancer within a week. Get your tatas checked out. And she's a doctor.
And check yourself while you're in the shower.
Yeah, check yourself while you're in the shower.
Or bathtub.
It's easy. You take your 2 fingers and you press down, you go around. You press down and go around. Make sure you're not feeling any nodules or any lumps in your breast. Easy peasy. And you can always go on, I think it's breastcancerawareness.com. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta check first before we drop that in the group. But
check.
I want to say that it's breastcancerawareness.com that you can go to, and you can order the little shower tag. It's a shower tag that you put in the shower, and it'll show you how to check your breast while you're in the shower. Or you can just put up breast check shower tag. Google or find anything. But you can order it. It's free. They'll send it to you. Hang it in your shower. While you're taking a shower, check your breast to make sure everything's good.
Yes.
We got it. Hey, Kathy. Kathy says she getting checked next week. Look, I got me and Mama got a letter in the mail yesterday telling us it's time for our next mammogram. So I will be scheduling ours to go get checked really soon too. So just check on yourself, ladies. Let's stop talking about these men because we ain't checking on ourselves either.
Like we should.
And last but not least, before we get out of here, please go vote. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what candidate you vote for. I don't care who, what, the dog, the cat. Just go vote.
And go during early voting, because early voting you can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. Don't wait till the day of where you got to stand in line at that one place.
At that one place.
Go do it now. Or if you're like me and you're not in your state right now, you can still absentee vote. It's still time.
Yep.
I filled mine off. I've already voted. I'm done. I'm good.
Yep. So those of you who have moved and you're in a whole different city from where you lived before, you can vote where you live, where you used to live, or you can vote where you live right now if you haven't re-registered to register in your city. As long as it's early voting, you can go anywhere. But on November 5th, what is it? The 5th or the 7th? It's the 5th, right?
Yes.
The 5th. On November 5th, you have to go to your designated place.
Yep.
And if you do not know where that is, because there are some people who can't go to the 5th. If you do not know where that is, y'all, please find out where your voting poll station is.
You can look it up.
You can look it up. You can definitely look it up. But please go vote. We're going to leave y'all with that. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Ladies Den. We are on every Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook at the Ladies Den. Follow us on Instagram at the Ladies Den 2023. And please, please, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Ladies Den Podcast. Y'all got anything?
Lady K, are you ready?
Hey, thank you for joining us in the Den. You can find us here live streaming every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you next week.
It's Lady K, Kiki too, plus the Bayou Diva. You know how they do. From breaking news to favorite foods. She was popping in the city, hot topics too. Advice for your issues if you need to grab a tissue. Just wait till a break, they may say something that'll fit you. Amazing guests live on set. You can laugh to your heart's content. They appreciate the love because it's truly a blessing. My name's Saga Boss and I approve this message. Ain't no room for ladies. Enjoy the entertainment. You are locked in to the Ladies Den. So there's no confusion. They love what they do. You are locked in to the Ladies Den.
The Ladies Den, Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell them Saga sent you.